Coffee out day!
Guys in the Gulf.
Ah, bloody hell.
My thoughts exactly.
Still recovering after a big weekend, mate. Only just getting my voice back slowly.
Yeah, barely. Well, it's not even just the weekend; it's the flow-on effect of a big bloody year, really. Yeah, and it's ramped up over the last couple of months. And yeah, so we've had I suppose we've had a lot of guests on over the last few podcasts, and we haven't really had a chance to catch up and go through some stuff. Like far out, we've been busy.
Yeah, well, obviously the big Western Australian trip. That was a it was unreal. Big few weeks. Big few weeks, mate.
Yeah, so
on the boat.
people might have seen podcasts with Azza, the owner of the business, Snagger Barra. We did one with him along the way, and then Molar of the West, Adam Swanee, the deckhand. We did one with him, which was good fun as well. But yeah, there's obviously so many things from the trip that we sort of haven't covered yet, and even I only just finally started editing a video, like episode 1 of that today, and I just showed you the intro, and it's like, oh man, like seeing all the footage from day one, and that was all that footage in that big intro. That's only like footage from halfway through the trip. Like there was no footage from like them cathedrals or any of from there past that. You know, it's a lot of. I think it was like 2,000 individual video files I have from the trip. Yeah, it
was a big trip.
Yeah,
very big trip. Yeah, still recovering from that too.
Yeah,
but mate, it's been absolutely flat out. I mean, obviously we got back and been pretty much flat out ever since getting things ready for this weekend that's just gone.
Yep, the Barkly Bulls N Barra. We've been talking about it for months and months on this podcast, and it finally happened. Ash didn't get to see any of it, but it was an awesome Friday night. There was one old fellow there, which I don't even know. I was telling you about him. I don't know what his name is. He was with a group of mates, but just had good yarns with him on a couple of nights. And one of the things he said, which stuck with me, was if anyone didn't have fun on that Friday night, they were trying not to.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, good turnout, mate. We got all happening, and bloody seemed to go pretty well. Everyone seemed to be pretty happy. I mean, obviously there was a million things in the background going on that needed to be sorted, but it got sorted, and I think generally speaking, everyone had a good time. So
absolutely, saw a few bulls. It was just a bizarre thing when I first. It was like obviously we helped with all the setup and that, so I saw it during the day with it all getting set up. But it wasn't until I came. It was pretty hot out there, So everyone sort of had a bit of downtime in the aircon and then went back down after the bar had opened. And when I first got there, it was such a bizarre feeling to be sitting at the bar, turn around, and there's a big pen of bulls like right next to the bar, in between the bar and the river. Like, there's bulls. It's just there. This is really happening. It's yeah. And to think, so how did it start? So it was you and Lockie, was it? Just sitting there having a beer one night at the bar?
Mate, I honestly can't remember exactly what the catalyst was for it, but I think something along the lines of that. We were just having a discussion about it at some stage 12, 18 months ago, and obviously we've had Lockie on the podcast before, and we spoke about it then for the first time sort of publicly, I suppose. And it all sort of ramped up from there, and it's just been a bit of effort since then to try and get it off the ground, and it's happened now. So and it was a good success too. Like we could have had a couple more people in there, but like we were pretty well at our numbers that we
capacity,
wanted. We're pretty close to capacity. We had our numbers pretty much bang on what we thought we'd get.
Oh yeah, because we had like paid security there, so they're the amount of security guards that governs how many people are allowed there.
Yeah, correct.
So to have more people, they would have needed another security. Yeah.
That
means everyone's well behaved, unless there's something I didn't see.
There was no dramas at all, mate. Everyone was really good out here. So we didn't have any problems at the bar in terms of people running amok or anything like that. Everyone was really, really well behaved, and getting along really well. And it was good night.
Yeah,
good night. Very, very busy. I think you certainly, from the best of my knowledge, that's definitely the busiest, like the biggest night we've ever had over the bar or anything at King Ash. So it was good.
Well, it was worth all the effort, eh? It is a shame that Ash didn't get to enjoy any of it. Because there was obviously spot fires being put out all over the place where little small issues arising, and everyone just goes straight to Ash. All right, Ash. Oh, where do we find this? What do we do with this? We need this. And all right, I'll sort that. And,
It's all stuff to be sort of expected, I suppose. Like, one of the things I said when I spoke to the fishing club committee here is like, guaranteed we're going to have problems. Like, that's one thing I can guarantee is we will have a lot of dramas. But it's just how you deal with them, I suppose. And, talking to people afterwards, they said, well, I think no one really noticed any of those issues. We had water issues and power issues. We're going through beer and that quick. We're rotating beer through ice and eskies and stuff to try and get things chilled down. And so, it was all hands on deck pretty well. Just to try and keep the beverages up to everyone. And the girls in the kitchen did a great job too. They punched out a few hundred meals that night. So.
Wow. When you said all hands on deck, something I did far out. I got to go. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to clear my throat. Far out. All hands on deck. I did say to you yesterday that I would bring this up. So Ash, obviously, he's the mastermind, the person who basically ran this whole thing. His family, though, between him, his dad ran one of the bars up in the back corner. It was like the sponsors corner. So these are all non-paid jobs. So Ash did all this for nothing. His dad did that. His mum flew up from Queensland and then got stuck on the door all night, like helping sign people in with the app. And then your missus and her sister, they helped out with the wristbands and that all night. So that like every single person in your family, like was working for nothing. And I don't know. I'm just saying thank you, and that. I don't know if people didn't even realise that, like people are all down there having fun while all you guys are up here, working your asses off. So without people like that, like the event can't run. And there's obviously heaps of other volunteers and stuff that did a lot of things, but I was just singling out that as like, look, as a group, that's all people getting behind it and trying to make it work, and no complaints. You know what I mean? No one complained about it. You just hooked in and got it done.
No, I mean,
well, you did complain a little bit.
No, there was obviously a hell of a lot of people that put in a hell of a lot of effort. Obviously Byron bringing all the animals over and organising all the guys out the back, and like just the work involved in doing that, setting up the yards and pulling them down, and all that stuff. Mates of mine that went to like Luke and Ben that I went to school with, they're up here to go fishing and enjoy themselves, and they spent 3 days pretty much before anything even started, just helping me cruise around and bloody get things prepared and that. So Hannah, she was sort of our secretary, organising stuff. Like she just took complete charge of all the paperwork side of things and made sure that everything was sorted, everything was done properly, and she did a massive job as well. So there's a lot of people like I said on Sunday night, if you start trying to thank everyone, two things will happen. You'll be there all night, and you're guaranteed to forget someone.
Yeah.
But like definitely, like Lockie as well. Like the amount of stuff that Lockie organised in the background that no one would have even thought of. Was unreal. Mate.
Even the fact that it's like all hands on deck, like when those trucks arrived with all the panels and all that, was good that people just hooked in and everyone just started helping, and so it was good. Although on Sunday when everyone went fishing, there was one big lumberjack moving panels by himself. He cooked himself.
Oh yeah, it was bloody hot, mate. Well, I had Friday night I was pretty well flat out, just cruising around, just trying to keep things sorted. With out the back of the bar and all that sort of thing. And then so Saturday night I came down, and it was substantially quieter, obviously, on Saturday night. And the bar staff pretty well had everything under control there. So I hooked into a few drinks, and me and Ant.
a little bit of dancing.
Oh, mate, there was all sorts of stuff going on. But,
I was a good boy. I stayed home Saturday night.
Oh, mate, no, I had the best time Saturday night there. Obviously, we had Luke Geiger here over the weekend, which was just, mate, that was just, unreal.
Yeah.
them guys, Luke and his brother, they just put on the best show. Like, that was just unreal.
Yeah, not just talented, but proper entertainers. Like they're,
Oh, mate, yeah. Really funny guys.
Yeah.
Very, very down to earth. Just really, really good lads. Like, really, really good lads.
Yeah.
So we're having a really good laugh.
Tell us when I wasn't there. I didn't stay till bar closed or the end of the night. But apparently they've signed off at the end of their set
On Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he took off. Oh, at the end, he said, "Oh, right, thanks everyone. We'll catch you up tomorrow or whatever. I'm Mikey. This is Ash. We're the guys in the goal."
And before every song was something like that. Even like because they flew in. So they're like, all right, well, it was probably the second song of the night. Like, all right, well, this is a song we wrote here on the plane. On the way here on the plane, and then they play like 5 o'clock somewhere by Alan Jackson. It's like, okay, so it's all just everything's funny. We'll take a 5-minute break. See you in 15 minutes. Like, that being said, they don't take breaks.
No.
Only requests.
Didn't take breaks at all, mate. They were bloody flat out the whole time, and shout out to Gypsy too, who drove up with all these sound equipment and stuff and set it up. Yep. Yeah, and mate, I'll tell you what, he was absolutely drenched, mate. It was that hot and humid. Like, setting everything up, mate, was just an absolute mission.
I saw it in Luke's Instagram stories or whatever. Yeah, there was a photo of him or a video of him. Drenching, like totally soaked just from sweat. Yeah,
it was very hot, but mate, we absolutely nailed it with the weather. Like, we had big rain the morning before. Like, I didn't even think the boys would be able to land the plane here. Like, I was on the phone to Lockie going, mate, I don't know, we might have to get them to divert to Barkly tomorrow when they come in if it keeps raining, because obviously we've got a good airstrip here, 1,000-metre runway, and we've had big aircraft come in before, but obviously you don't want to be landing there if it's super wet. So,
how crazy that with that rain. So yes, it is the wet season, but typically here we don't really get rain till after Christmas. A lot of the time we'll get some storms, but that one morning of rain, couple of hours of rain, would you say?
Yeah.
And buddy, we heard that the crossing went underwater in Barkly.
I'm
not talking about the big bridge, just the old crossing.
Yeah.
So it actually made the river come up.
Yeah, it was a metre over that. Well, when
after one morning of rain, that's unreal.
Yeah, when some of the other boys I went to school with come down from Catherine, they said the whole bloody whole paddock was sort of flooded underwater up towards the mine there. They reckon it was just
when I drove in,
the same. Yeah, it
was like floodwater, like proper floodwaters up there.
Yeah, so it was pretty wet. So, but we didn't have any, and it looked like raining Friday afternoon. It belted down in Barkly.
The sound guy was stressed.
Oh,
the pilot was stressed.
Oh,
because I took him up there. Because obviously, when they park their planes on the airstrip, like to get back, like to the bar and back, like they've got no car here. So I ran him up there, and he's like, "Oh, should I strap it down?" And he's like, "Oh, well, if I strap it down, we won't get a storm. But if I don't strap it down, we will get a storm." So yeah. I think he strapped it down.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had to go and check on it anyway. So, but so there was just so many different moving parts, mate. Like, my head was absolutely just spinning Friday, Saturday, or even Sunday. Like, I couldn't think of anything, mate. I was just dealing with Sunday, problems one at a time.
You were sitting there with Katie entering data for the fishing comp. So that's even the next part of after all the bull side of things done. Then we've got the Barra comp. And Kate will be saying out a name, and then it'll be like John Smith, and Ash will be like, John, what was the surname? Smith. Katie, one thing at a time. What's the surname? And she just said, Ash, go over there. I'll do this. Like, you'd already done most of it, but I took over, and your brain, you were just scattered.
Oh, we still even them, like, we had to put our PA back up and set it back up and stuff, and bloody get organised for the presentations and stuff, which was very short and sweet.
Just 3 prizes to give away. 2 hell of good fish not weighed in, but entered.
Yeah,
the winning barra was a 112. Second place was 109. So they were going to be hard to beat. And apparently you're saying they were some of the early ones that came in entries.
They were some of the first fish that came in, and
so it made tallying results very easy.
Yeah, well, I mean, because they're only having first place and second place, and then a mystery entry, say. So basically, all you had to look for was to see if there's any fish photos came in over that 109, and then you'd have to obviously relook at it. But because those ones came in early, and it just made it a lot more simpler.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we're only doing Barra as well. It's not like we're doing an Easter comp where there's,
Different
14 species.
male, female, junior. Yeah, this was just winner takes all, biggest Barra. Same with, it was pretty cool. I love the fact that on the Friday, like someone went home with $10,000, like the bull rider. Mm-hmm. Like that was the prize, $10,000. We need to do some research into it. Someone sent us a message. If you know of a bull ride in the Northern Territory worth more than 10 grand, let us know. It's like it potentially could be the richest bull ride in the Northern Territory.
Yeah,
Noonamar is obviously a big show. But do they give away 10 grand to the winner? I don't know.
Not sure, mate. Not sure.
So anyway, that'd be a good little claim to fame if we did this event again. We could, that could be the line, the richest bull ride in the Northern Territory.
And the amount of people, like if I had $1 for every time somebody came up and said, "Oh, mate, like, can we give you a hand with something?" Like, bloody hell, we'll recover the cost. just on that alone, mate. Because just about every person that came in the gate said, "Oh, mate, is there anything you need us to do?" And although there was a lot of work to be done, it was
You'd need to give someone training to do, like, you can't just give someone, go move that to there. There wasn't jobs like that to be done.
Yeah, and when there was, like, I had obviously, boys I went to boarding school with that were here, like Luke and Ben.
Yeah.
Like, they jumped in and did those sorts of jobs, like, the lighting towers and stuff. Oh, can you move them down there? And
that was so awesome. I was there when you asked them. I said, "Oh, can you go to this light?" That was all in my head. I'm like, far out. It's almost time. We better get started soon. And these light towers aren't even in. And you're like, you got them, and then it was done.
Yeah. So just when it got it sorted,
Yeah.
So and like I said, it's always bad to start naming people and thanking people because you will forget someone. But but there was a lot of good people there that made it happen. So that made it a lot easier, mate. A lot of really, really good support, a lot of good sponsors, and everyone seems to be keen to do it again next year. I know there's a new group chat already. So
really? So, you leave me out of that. I'm going to mute that one if you had mentioned that.
So no, there's so many positive comments, mate, from so many different people. So all in all, it was a pretty good success. I think. I mean, speaking to Damon, like who's the club president, like the fishing club president now, I said, even if it costs us money to have it on, even if we don't turn a profit on it, then it's still a good event. But all in all, I think when it's all squared away, the club would have turned a reasonable profit from the weekend as well. So it's good.
Yeah, it was worthwhile. Because that's the whole point. I have seen in a lot of the comments whenever I put up a post on my personal stuff, like my fishing channel or whatever, people in the comments will say, "Oh, why on earth would you be doing it at this time of year? Like, should be doing it in the dry season where everyone can enjoy it." Well, that's not what this event is. All the people that were here for it, the people organising it and whatever, they won't be available in the middle of the dry season.
Yeah,
this
everyone's
is all
working.
Yeah. So this is all about an end of year party almost for local stations and whatever. And we extend the season out a bit. It helps out the club a bit with making a little bit more money. The accommodations and the different businesses here will thrive from it. That's more what this is about. It's like an end of year party and to extend the season that little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that a good way of describing it?
Yeah, well, that was the whole plan, was to do something that can involve some of the local businesses and property owners and things like that, rather than just focusing on tourism. Because obviously we run a lot of events throughout the year, like the fishing club, runs a lot of events throughout the year. We've got Territory Day and, several fishing, monthly fishing comps, Easter fishing comp, all these sorts of things which are all aimed at, promoting the place for tourism, whereas this event was more so for local pastoralists, local business owners, all the people that are sort of winding down for the year for the wet season, something that they can get involved in and enjoy as well. So and I think and
getting a new group of people that potentially haven't been to King Ash Bay before,
completely new dynamic.
People that have never sponsored a fishing comp here, like things like that. So now we've got a whole new group of potential people that might come back on a holiday during the dry season next year. I wonder how many people came that have never been here before. Probably quite a few.
There would have been a lot, mate.
Yeah.
I reckon there would have been a lot. There were quite a few.
And then other people that did make the special trip. Our mate Kevin Blatchford.
Oh, mate, what a legend, hey?
Okay, I don't even know how we can do him justice. I'm pretty sure. So we guys in the golf, we have a Patreon. where you can go on Patreon, and we don't really give you anything. All we do is basically give us $20 a month or something just to show you support. I'm pretty sure he's a patron. There's only a handful of you, so thank you, everyone. So he's a patron. I reckon whenever I put out merch, he buys it. Before we did our Kimberley trip, he sent up a heap of charts that he'd hand drawn on with pencil, like, good anchorage here, fish for dewies over here, like all hand drawn everywhere. He's driven all the way up for this weekend to come to the Bulls N Barra, and he did enter, I think, a decent sized barra as well, which was good. So I'm glad he got a decent barra there. And then the day before he left, just yesterday he left. So the day before, he comes here and goes through all these billfish teasers and all stuff. He's left them here with us. He wants us to catch some billfish here. So he's so like,
which is his background from Western Australia. So
like he is just the best, but like happy, just wants to help, and
absolute legend.
If we could have 10 of him, like that would, I don't know. I'd love to clone him. Like in every way, he's just generous. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, well, as soon as we heard we're going to the Kimberley, mate, he sent us up a heap of stuff. Yeah. And then, when he's come here now, one of the books he recommended me reading before we go or on our trip, he actually bought a copy of it and gave it to me when he got up here so I can read it. And but he, an absolute gentleman.
Yeah.
And the other day, like I was out there, pulling some fence panels down, and it was hot, like it's the middle of the day, and proper hot. And he come down, mate, and he's sleeping in his swag, and it's 40 degrees.
Yeah, he's roughing it.
He's sleeping in his swag. I said to him, just come. I've got some boys from school that are at my place in their swags on the floor in the lounge room, mate, in the aircon. Just chuck your swag on the floor in the aircon. He's like, I'll see how I go. I've got a fan. If it gets too hot, I might come over. But he's sleeping in his swag, and then he comes over, and then he jumps in and starts helping moving fence panels with me. And and he drove up just for the weekend, like all the way from southeast Queensland. So he's done a 5,000 kilometre round trip. I think I assume he enjoyed himself, but in fact, I know on the Friday night, because I was running around getting footage on my phone and on a GoPro, and he was from where he was. I came up and I spotted him, and I come stood next to him, and he was definitely enjoying himself. He's also a big active member of the Rod Locker. That's our Facebook group for guys in the Gulf. He's very active in there. So if you're in the Rod Locker and you see him post something, give him a big thumbs up and say, be more like him, be more like Kev. What a champion.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, bloody hell.
Who else we got? Any other people that were here that we were excited to see? Oh, another active person in the Rod Locker and his mate, Craig Hucks, I think.
Yep.
He's active in the Rod Locker, and he brought bloody ex-Prime Minister Kevin Rudd with him.
Yeah, we
got a photo to show you.
Yeah.
We went with that fairly hard that night. We were sitting with him having a few chats. I'm like, has anyone ever told you look like Kevin Rudd? He's like, no. I'm like, nah, come on, great. Mate. Everyone tells him all the time, surely. He's like, no, first I've heard of it. And he put a video up there in the Rod Locker just today, I think, where he got a hook through the finger from a cod that had come off, and he's gone to reach it, and the lure's still in, and he's like, oh, no, it didn't hurt. Nothing seems to bother me. And I go, oh, except for Julia Gillard. Things like that. Yeah, no, we were running with it.
We give you a pretty hard time, mate. Yeah. Shouldn't you be at home deleting tweets about Donald Trump, mate?
It was good fun. Yeah. That's the thing. I met so many people over the weekend. It's almost overwhelming. I went home early on the Thursday night, so that's the day before the event. People had obviously started to come in, and it was full on Thursday night for me. Anyway, I wasn't expecting it, and I was just sitting in the bar, and I turn around, it was quiet, and then half an hour later I turn around and there's bloody 100 people standing, like mostly bloody station boy looking, big cowboy hats and whatever. I'm like, holy, where'd you guys come from? Anyway, so there was
so many good people.
A lot of people here,
Like to have an event like that here with so many people and such a different dynamic and not have any problems.
Yeah.
Was like we had 5 security guards here, but like, they worded a few people about lighting a cigarette in the wrong area and told a few people to go and have a glass of water and bloody take a break and that sort of thing. But mate, I didn't have to wrestle with anyone. Like everyone just behaved themselves. Everyone did as they were told. Everyone was, happy and so, which is always a worry, especially here. Like we've got a full liquor license and or club license, and you always stress about people breaching the act and getting you in trouble. So to have an event like that with so many different people, so many people that haven't been here before, don't sort of know the rules of here. Like a lot of people, throughout the tourist season, you'll see people coming from down south and they'll be very casual. Like they won't wear shoes in the bar and things like that. But
they'll try and take a drink out with them. And any club member will get up them straight away. Because the words I always use to people is we take our liquor license very serious here.
Yeah.
Because if we lost that, we lose the bar. We lose Groper's Bar and Grill. So if we that's the lifeblood of the place,
Yeah, for sure.
So
everyone takes it very seriously.
Any club member, if someone breaks the rules, it's like this isn't. We're not in the city. We're not a place where you can just
And just because it's in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't mean that you don't have to follow the rules. Just because there isn't a security or police or liquor inspector sitting, at the gate every day, doesn't mean that you can just do as you please, sort of thing. So
they do come through though, don't they? A couple of times.
Oh yeah.
Well, Fisheries were here for the weekend, I think.
Actually, we should mention that. I think there's a few things. So we had security for this event because of the type of event it was, and we knew we were going to have a mix of people and that hadn't been here before, and so we thought it was safest to have security on the gate, and mate, they did an excellent job. They, at the end of it, I had a chat to the guys, and they said no, we had no dramas. Everyone was happy. Everyone did the right thing. The police from Barkly came out a few times throughout the evening. Same thing. They hadn't had any dramas with anyone. They were very happy with what was going on. And then we also had Fisheries came out from Darwin for the weekend, and they were here from about Thursday onwards. And same thing. They, talking to the guys last night or night before last, before they left, they said, we didn't have a single problem with anyone. Everyone was so good. Like, no one had undersized fish. No one was over the bag limit. Like, to have that many different people here from different places, and and they sat at the boat ramp and checked every boat that comes through, and to not have any breaches or anything like that was really, really good. Really positive.
Yeah, it was easy for me. I went fishing with Bullfrog and Ant on Sunday, and it was easy to not breach when we go. The eskies were empty. We did not bring a fish home. We didn't plan on bringing a fish home, but we went out. We took. Oh, there's another story that we haven't spoken about. The bloody new boat. Holy shit! From where we're sitting here, it is 4 meters that way. It is. It's a thing of beauty. Ash hasn't been in it yet. Well, he has been in it, but we haven't been on the water in it yet.
Mikey's going to take me tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the plan. So
we're going to go for a lap somewhere and try and catch a fish.
I reckon we should leave early and try and get that. That's what I learnt with the. So when Glenn, the fella that owns the boat, when he brought it up for me, we did a bit of a houseboat trip, and we found that early morning bite window. You can be almost anywhere, and you'll get a couple of barra. If you're at the right place at the right time, right early in the morning, you'll get, and then they just shut down, and then you have to really work hard and go searching for them, which we did a couple of times. We found them, but I reckon you just need. It's just like going over to the Twins, for example. Like if you get that early morning bite window on the right tide, it can just be red hot for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You know? But if you miss that, you might only get one fish an hour after that or something,
Yeah, well, I went out the other day. Can't remember when it was. 10 days ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Not long after I got back from Western Australia, I took Kate and Katrina out for a quick spin in the morning, and same thing, mate. We got 3 or 4 barra, pretty well straight up first thing, and then it went quiet and. I hooked a couple more after
Which
that.
boat did you take?
Just the tinny, the punt.
Yeah, okay.
But, I was getting rather frustrated though.
With what, Ashley? With what? Or who? No.
With everything. With everything. It was a bit of a mission, but we might. Katrina hasn't caught her first barra yet, so that's on her bucket list to do.
Yeah, we'll get her one. She's leaving around Christmas or something like that, or just before Christmas.
Yeah,
we'll get her one. Well, I'm probably here for another week, so we'll.
Yeah, I think she's got Saturday off. So
yeah, what day's today?
Wednesday, Tuesday. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't matter to me anymore. After the weekend, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. Bloody hell.
Yeah. So with the boat, well, obviously I'll do a. Yeah. Did I have a? Yeah. So you've seen the trip I did on the houseboat with Glenn and his mates. But yeah. So
that's it.
That's it. Yeah. So
the first time you actually really used it yourself was
yesterday. Was yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, Sunday.
And also you couldn't wipe the smile off my face while I was. Yeah. It was so good. Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty happy. So I'll obviously stay tuned on my channel on Mikey Cunningham Fishing, and I'll do at some stage I'll do a full walkthrough and show you all the bells and whistles on it, and yeah, it's pretty good.
It is very nice. Very, very nice.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah, but the boys and I we were talking. Yeah, I think we'll put a big sound bar in there, 12-volt sound bar to get some tunes cranking, and oh yeah, it doesn't really need much else. It's all there.
Well, talk us through, because you were telling me about, and I haven't been on the, I've stepped on the boat, but I haven't been actually for a run with you. Tell us about the how the sounder works with the electric, because you were telling me about it the other day.
Yeah, so it's all Garmin. So the electric motor, like usually you have Humminbirds or Minn Kotas or whatever, but this is actually a Garmin branded electric motor, and it is really good. This one's 24 volt. It connects straight to one 24 volt battery in this boat. Like in Flanders, I've got two 12s.
Yeah.
So it's a 24 volt battery. I'll just go through a couple of things on the sounder. The electric motor, which is just so good. You push your foot down on the foot thing to lift it up, and it goes straight into it just turns off and goes sideways, ready to be stowed. So it goes into the perfect position, so you can just lift it up, click it in. There's a gesture feature on the remote. You hold down the gesture button and you can swing your hand this way and go, I want to go over there to that snag, and hold your finger down on it, and the motor will just go exactly where you've pointed. So I played with it, like you can hold the finger down and go left, right, and the motor will just be going like so responsive. Yeah, it's like playing a video game with the bloody thing. But then another couple of things I love it, on my Minn Kota on Flanders, there's no buttons on it. So my battery the remote on that is buggered. So now as a result, I cannot use my electric motor on Flanders.
Yeah.
Because unless I get a new remote. On this, it actually has the anchor or spot lock button on the actual motor. So just say you accidentally lost or forgot your remote or whatever, you can still use it, still spot lock. You can also drive it through. I've got a big 12-inch Garmin sounder on the boat as well. It's connected via Bluetooth, I assume. And so you can drive the electric motor through the sounder as well. You can set up like trolling runs, like to follow tracks. And it's pretty good. Like it's compared to, everyone knows my boat Flanders, like, and it's showing its age now. You know, it's got some old technology in there and it's a bit banged up and busted, but to have something brand new with brand new technology, and it's all like Glenn has spared no expense with it. Like from the electric motor to the battery, that I think just the battery that runs that electric is like a $3,000 battery.
Yeah.
You know, the T-top I think is like $8,000. It's been well set up with good gear, and it's It
is very, very, very nice. You got a jacking plate on there too, so you can really
so you can lift.
Try and keep up with the demo.
Yeah. I need to find that perfect balance between revs, height, and trim.
Yeah.
Because I got to play around with it a bit. When I went out with the boys. But then, obviously, if you're going 70 kilometres an hour, you can see that fuel gauge just. It can go about 70, so it's not crazy fast, but it's like you don't need to go faster than that.
Plenty fast.
Yeah, no, I set my cruising speed at about 50 k's an hour, which meant it was below 5,000 revs, just under 5,000 revs, and I think that's a good balance between going pretty fast still and not being stupid with fuel. So
No, I can't wait to go out, mate. Can't wait to go and get amongst it.
Yeah, no, we'll have some fun tomorrow, eh? Let's leave early. Let's
Proper early.
yeah. We'll leave early. And it's already. I've still got the car hooked up. That's my plan because I've got the buggy here. So and my and the 2-wheeler.
Yep.
So I don't even need to use my car while I'm here. So I'm just going to leave my car hooked up the whole time. And then so the boat's just always ready to go. And I'm going to religiously fill it up with fuel, so it's already full. Mm-hmm. So when you get home from fishing, fill it up so it's always just ready to go. Going to look after this one.
Perfect, mate. Perfect.
Yeah.
Where are we going tomorrow, mate? Tell me all about it.
We'll have to have a look at the tide.
We'll have to have a lock. Well, we'll have a look over a port later.
Sponsored by Normie.
Thanks, Normie.
We'll have to wait till next episode, and we've got an episode sponsored by a bloody Byron Bay.
Nah, not Byron Bay, is it?
Oh, no, I don't know.
No, the boys that was just staying at the lodge.
What was it called? What's it written on there? That Craig Hucks. Yeah, his mate. But then it turns out I think his mate sold that brewery.
Maybe.
I think he said that.
Oh, no, we did try one. It was, it was quite nice. The lager.
Yeah.
Quite nice. I only had 2, but we'll get amongst them for sure.
Yeah.
They are in the fridge just there. We could do a live taste test, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've had a couple, but you haven't.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they left 2 types.
There's
so they
ales
left
there as well, or
yeah. So yeah,
what sort of ale?
There's a lager,
summer ale, I think. We'll get it. We'll have a look.
Yeah, we'll get amongst it.
Yeah.
Big Pete's here.
Big Pete, he's a real person. He's really here.
Yeah, he arrived. He arrived on Friday.
Well, can confirm he's here because we were there till bloody midnight last night at his place drinking his rum.
Well, we drank his rum, then we drank my rum. And then we're nearly going to drink his port, but I'm glad we didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I was, yeah.
And no, Big Pete, so if in previous podcasts you've seen us with a really fancy bottle of something, it'll always be because of Big Pete. It's like a bottle he's given us. And last night was no exception when we were going to drink the port. He's like, go get that port from out of the back seat of my car. I'm like, I'll go get it. Well, I can't find it. Oh, it's in the box. And I'm like, it's in this box that's like, it's like presidential, like, you know, like you have to unwrap the seal of
the box alone would be worth more than any bottle of port you or I would ever buy.
Yeah.
So it's like aged 20 years, buddy. Yeah,
that's good stuff.
It is good because he's brought it up before. Last time he came up, he brought half a dozen bottles with him, and it was very, very nice. So, but I just saw him on the way over, and he said I'll come over after we get our stuff done.
Oh, Roger.
So and he brought his big charcoal grill, mate. We got in there last night. Actually, some of the station boys brought some beef up. So
Heston Blumenthal signature. It's a big thing.
Oh, the cooker.
Yeah. That's what you said. The charcoal.
Yeah. Bloody oath. And because he wanted to cook some sausages. I said, we'll go home. I've got some bloody backstrap there in the fridge. Haven't cut up or anything yet. We'll just put it straight on that rotisserie, and we ended up chucking it on the grill there and cooking it up. Well, you did.
Yeah. Shredder went home and got some jalapeno salt, was it?
Yeah, that was good.
It was
too.
a spicy salt.
Yeah,
he literally drove home and he was back in about 15 seconds. So anyway.
I don't know which way he went, probably straight to the middle of the camp or something, but because he wasn't gone half a minute.
No.
But yeah, he came back with this, I've never tried that before, but that was quite good too.
Yeah, you love your salt. Yeah, you were sitting there, it's like a bar snack, just eating the spicy salt. Yeah.
Yeah, I just pulled some rib bones out there before, so might go and annoy Big Pete and put some rib bones on his bloody cooker, eh?
Yeah. Oh, you do it tonight? You've got...
I've got them out already. I'd pulled them out and I've got them in 4 trays ready to go, mate.
I've got lamb. You can smell the lamb 4-quarter chops in the slow cooker there.
Oh, yeah. Mongrel. Well, we would have had a lot of lamb.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that. Oh, no, that's right. But because we were going to do a lamb on a spit, but the lamb that I bought however long ago is US. Unserviceable.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No good. So...
and it was your dad that's saying, it's no good. And I'm like, and nothing bothers him. Like, I would have assumed with Don, it would, even if it was a little bit bad, he'd have been fine with it. But
I'm pretty confident it was good. I reckon it was right.
Far out.
It's
not worth the risk, though.
Because it's been like cryovac, it's bloody, there's a whole sheep. Bloody, but I think it's because it's been cryovac. And, so it's just got that... You know what it's like with any sort of meat, like it was been it gets that cryovac smell, and But it didn't it didn't smell bad at all.
No.
But anyway, it doesn't matter.
All right, well, it's done now.
It's done now. Done now, mate.
Dog's going to eat well.
most expensive lamb in the country, yeah.
Far out.
Yeah, but actually, the boys went to school. They brought up a heap of lamb for me, mate. So my freezer's absolutely chock-a-block. Station boys brought out a heap of beef for me. So so we had backstrap last night. We're gonna have some rib bones this afternoon.
Oh,
Get amongst it.
oh yeah.
What else? Try one of them beers, huh?
Yeah, Roger, you grab them.
Oh, you go.
No. If you grab them, I want to talk about something really. You do it. I want to talk about Black Friday. You can just yell out Black Friday. What is that? Jazz tells me I need to mention the merch in podcasts. So this is me mentioning the merch, and I think this Black Friday thing. It's like it's a marketing thing, right? Like it's not an actual event. Like it's.
I've got no idea how it works.
Everyone goes crazy and buys a lot of stuff. I don't know. So go on my website. I'm going to do a deal for this Black Friday thing. I have no idea what it is, but you might be able to get yourself some. We don't make a lot of money off the merch anyway, but I'll do a discount or free postage or something. I don't know. I'll do something. So get on there, buy some merch off me, keep me going, because I'm hoping to take 6 weeks off over Christmas. I usually come down to King Ash Bay here every 2 weeks. So I spend 2 weeks in Darwin with my wife and kids. I come down here to King Ash Bay for 2 weeks, try and make a couple of videos every time I'm here, then go back home again. So with the Kimberley trip we just did, I've got, I reckon, 4 really good episodes there. Plus then I've got the Bulls N Barra episode. Then hopefully Ash and I'll get another episode tomorrow. So yeah, that'll give me enough content to have all the school holidays. So my kids won't be at school, so I'll be home for the whole school holidays. A bit of good family time. Buy the merch, please, 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 please. Golf mud crabbers, guys in the golf shirts. Check out the shorts, guys in the golf shorts. Give us one of them ale ones. You want? Okay, what's that one? Lager.
Try that one first.
Try the lager.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bryce.
Then try that one.
Pacific Haze. So that Revel, Revel, Revel is the name of the beer. We've got a lager and a Pacific Haze from Balimba, Brisbane.
So thanks very much, fellas.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Made in Australia, certified independent.
Brewed along the scenic riverbank that winds through our vibrant city, our everyday lager combines local malt and New World hops for a modern take on a classic style. It's clean, crisp, refreshing, and perfect for any occasion. Oh. Well, we'll be the judge of that, Mikey. We have been known to try a few different beers. Great Northern don't want to sponsor us, so
I don't think they could, man. There's people mention in the comments all the time about you guys should be sponsored by Great Northern, and I think they have to, like anyone like that, they have to promote the responsible consumption of alcohol and stuff like that. And if we do a podcast and we end up with like 40 empty beer bottles here, like that, I don't know. I just don't think they could sponsor us.
We're not driving far. That was a joke, people. That was a joke.
Did you walk up?
Yeah, I did.
You were out of breath when you got here, so I figured you must have.
Jesus Christ. Was not. I was carrying a few beers, though. I actually brought a few rum tins, too. Just in case.
Oh, yeah. You said I would like it. Yeah, you said I would like it. And I do. Bullfrog would like that, too. Even though this one is the lager, it's still like got that fruity. It's almost. I'm not good at it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I tried a couple of them yesterday, I think, when we went down and did a dump run and that.
Yeah.
And I think I grabbed a couple of them, tried them. I haven't tried this one yet, but it's actually pretty good too.
Yeah, so that fruitiness that you say, or that's the hops, I reckon. It's hoppy. Yeah. I remember being in, my wife and I went to London to visit my sister maybe 8 years ago. And I remember going to a bar that had 100 beer taps. It was a big oval shape and there was 100 beer taps. And I'm like, holy shit, look at these. And I remember going up to the guy, I go, give me, I'll have one of the hoppiest beers you have. Like whatever, yeah. And he poured it. It turned out to be like 17% alcohol for a beer, 17% alcohol. and it tasted like liquid pine cones. It was so full on. But I drank. Yeah.
Was this in Mudgee?
No. That was in London.
Oh, in London.
But speaking of Mudgee, my cousin Mitchell, who used to live in Mudgee, he took us to the brewery there, and we had he's an absolute beer scholar connoisseur. Like he brews his own. Yeah, he uses like crazy ingredients and that in his beers. Yeah. But he got me. In fact, I did an unboxing one time on Corroboree Billabong where he'd sent me up some of his homebrew, and I drank it on Corroboree Billabong. Opened the box and drank some of his beer on there. Yeah, he's probably responsible for really getting me branching out with beer. Because like with Great Northern, it's literally beer flavored water. You know what I mean? Like it's a very easy. It's beer flavored water,
and that's
it's a day beer.
That's why a lot of people say, "How can you all drink mid strength there?" But if you like, it's 40 degrees outside at the moment. If you're drinking heavies, you're going to be blind in 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
So you drink the super crisp and like you can go out in the boat and have, quite a few beers and still be perfectly sober, bloody, no running amok, whatever.
Yeah.
When the sun goes down, you start having a few rums, a few ports, you might
daytime beers.
Might throw a few dance moves at the at the crew.
What video did we do where we had I think it might have been a little short that I did put up, or a reel that I put up when we were at that spot at Derby where the car wrecks were, and we had, because we didn't have any beers, like they were all bloody underwater
Swannies,
on the boat. So Swanee had 4X Golds there, and he gave us a few beers. Pardon me. And in the comments, heaps of people like, "Oh, watch that 4X stuff, it's poison," and whatever. And then on the other side, other people, "Oh, finally you guys are drinking real beer." And that, for the record, before Northern came out, like 4X Gold was the absolute most popular beer here. That was our beer. That's what we drank. Then Northern came out, and we we've merged over to that. And going back to 4X Gold, you have one of them now. You're like, "Oh, I think it's just what you're used to." Like, if it's your normal drink and you drink it regularly, like you'll like that, and anything outside of that, it just feels different.
Yeah, it's just what you're used to, I suppose.
Yeah,
but we definitely used to drink a lot of 4X, even midstream, like Carlton Mid. We used to drink. Well, I used to drink a bit of Carlton Mid, but I don't know. It's just Northern's overtaken everything though. Like like up here, like Northern. That the club here, we do way more than Northern than anything else.
And so many people, like you got 4X Summer or something, tried to compete with it, and then you had Iron Jack.
Summer was before Northern.
Yeah.
Or before Northern.
Well, I can't remember. There's been people try and compete with Northern for the mid strength market, and it's just too easy. But anyway, so the long and the short of it is, we're looking for a beer sponsor. Yeah, and this stuff will do.
Yeah, this is pretty good actually.
Yeah. Look, all we want's like, 6 cartons a week?
Oh.
Each?
Yeah.
I reckon, I'll get you to run for president again next year, mate, and we can sort our beer sponsor out by having the beer on tap at the bar here as well.
Oh, jeez.
There you go. There's a little teaser for you. I don't know.
Collusion.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Where on earth are we up to? I did write a little list very, very quickly.
I didn't write.
I did want to talk about Jabbers.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they did look after us for this Kimberley trip. We didn't do a whole heap of fishing. Like, it's not as much as we thought we would. So I don't really have footage other than the day that we went with Snagger, and you're using your tranks and that to get those big dewies. I don't really have footage of using the Jabbers gear.
The plan was like sort of like I use it pretty flat. Like every time we fished, I used the Jabbers gear. But the plan was on the way back, we were going to go to a reef, which is 80, 90 mile off Darwin on the way back.
Yeah.
And we had plenty of time to do that. But then as we sort of left Wyndham, the weather was quite good, but overnight there was just massive storms and that all around, and it got very, very rough and that. So we ended up sort of aborting mission and going direct to Darwin because it would have just taken us too long to go there, and then it would have been too rough probably to fish anyway.
And someone else on the boat had to catch a plane as well. So
yeah, for sure. So So yeah, we did intend on having that bloody that sort of day fishing there out wide to run through some stuff because we got. Having said that, I mean the guys sent us up a heap of jigs to try out. From what I did try out, mate, the Moxie Sparkle, I reckon the Jabbers Moxie Sparkle, mate. We one spot there, this non-stop. Just about everything I reckon try to eat it. So
yeah, that was at Monty's, yeah,
yeah. I think.
See, I didn't get to do any fishing there, because I had Swanee diving, which I got. Luckily, I did get some. I would have been frustrated if I got nothing there, but at least he put a GoPro, my GoPro on his mask.
Yeah.
So I've got some awesome footage of him diving for getting bloody big jacks and blue bone and trout and which is
looks awesome.
Yeah,
looks real good. The footage that you've showed me so far looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
So anyway, but we'll get out there tomorrow, mate. Get amongst it. We might get.
Yeah.
Did you catch a metre 13 tomorrow? You frustrated? Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. That would have been so exciting for him. Like when they wound in that 113, that they would have known.
112, yeah.
112, sorry.
I think it was 112 and 109.
109 came second. And it was the same family that got first and second, I reckon. Because I saw the photos and they were both taken on the same esky lid.
Yeah.
So same group of people, yeah. I think people from Borroloola, yeah?
Yeah, husband and wife.
Yeah. So they between them they took home $8 grand.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, far out. That would have been so exciting. When they would have known that they've got the biggest fish, surely.
Well, I think you'd
have a fair chance.
You'd be hopeful. But having said that, mate, there was some young couple that were camping across from us, like Tom and Catherine. I think they said this is their third or fourth trip up, and every time they've come up, they've sort of improved.
Yeah.
Like he's telling me the other morning, I was talking to him and he goes, when we get our 100th barra for the trip, we're going to shotgun a can. Doesn't matter what time of the morning it is, we've both got a
100th barra for the trip.
So, and then he came back, he was going over to the Lousy, I think, and he hadn't been there before. And so I give him a very brief rundown on the Lousy. And then when he came back that afternoon, I said, how'd you go? He said, we shotgunned a beer, mate.
Oh, wow.
And then on Sunday, he seen me. He said, we've got a couple of good fish today. Our best fish of the trip was on the Sunday, the fishing comp. And like they're gone now. They left yesterday. So
there was
he got a 91. Like Tom got a 91, and then Catherine got a 92 or something like. It was like I don't know. There was just both in the 90s.
Well,
and they're like, because they were saying to me after the husband and wife won, they're saying that's what we were hoping. Like we were thinking, how good would it be? Because if either one of us gets called out, for biggest, then we know the other one's going to be the second biggest.
It was like you and Ray with your queenfish or whatever. That was like 93 centimeters, and the other one was 92 and a half. Or but something with that. So obviously that couple, they obviously got a lot of fish and good ones. That triggered a memory of when we were putting all the data in. Like I reckon there was 90-something barra entered in.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of big fish. Like I reckon...
A lot over 80 centimetres.
Yeah. Heaps of them were big fish, and I reckon the top 20, if there was a fishing comp during the dry season, any fish in the top 20 would have had a chance at winning a comp during the dry season, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Yes, people do get meteries during the dry season, but there was a lot of big fish. Yeah.
Well, it has, we were talking to the boys that were staying that supplied us these beers there, and they were saying about, they were asking us, it was them, wasn't it? They were asking us about where do we catch some goldies?
I can't remember. I do remember a conversation about goldies.
Yeah, somebody was saying, where do we get the? I think it was because he was saying we had to change it from goldies before coldies to barras before beers because we couldn't get any goldies.
Which they did right. I loved. Yeah, you keep going.
But they were going out like trying. They've never been here before, and they're going and trying new spots, and they're going out around the islands, fishing rocky headlands and things like that.
Yeah, which I think is great. Like,
and they were nailing them too. They got plenty good fish. But didn't get any goldies.
Yeah.
But then another fella, boys I went to school with, They said, "Oh, what's going on here with this bloody? You know, we're going out and we went out to Centre Island and stuff, and we're fishing these rocky headlands trying to catch some barras. All we're getting is goldies. They're like, we're just getting goldie after goldie after goldie. Like, could have bagged out in goldies 100 times, mate. But couldn't get a barra. So it's just funny, like how, yeah,
because that's when they started showing me. They had a few videos and photos and that, and I'm like, "Where were you guys fishing?" And he started showing me on the map. I'm like, "What do you mean? This is your first time here?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "And you went there to catch barra? Like you're out around the islands and rocks and stuff." It's like if I was targeting, like anyone was targeting barra, they asked me for advice. Like that is not what I would have advised. But they did really well out of it. And I just love hearing that when people come here for the first time and they nail it. Yeah. It's something I think was probably, I only started doing it last year, this year. Like we have gone out to a few little places like that, little remote creeks and stuff where we've started branching off a bit, I suppose. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I feel like out around the islands is where it's at. Like it's just so beautiful out there. Like obviously in the creeks and the rivers, like
so it's the Kimberley of the Northern Territory.
That's the best way I can describe it. When people say, obviously everyone asks me, "Oh, how was your Kimberley trip?" And what's it like and that. I'm like, just picture the Pilo Islands, but just everything is bigger and just vast. Like, so we've got this little group of islands out here at the Pilo Islands. There's 50 islands and some little rocky outcrops and that. And it's absolutely beautiful here. We love it. You go to the Kimberley and it's hundreds of kilometres and thousands of islands. And instead of 10, 15 metre tall rocky outcrops, you've got 50 metre tall rocky outcrops. And yeah, it's like on steroids.
It is.
Yeah. So we've got our own little version of it here, mate. It's pretty nice out here.
So we can afford a really big boat.
Yeah.
We'll just have to keep playing around.
Yeah, well, we need a few more Kevin Blatchfords for on Patreon for that.
Oh, well, we never know. We might catch that $1 million fish tomorrow, mate.
Ooh, shit. We need to have a verbal contract. I reckon if it's just the two of us on the boat and one of us gets the $1 million fish, I reckon we just go 50-50.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, like it's starting to wind down now, mate. We're coming into the wet season. I mean, normally, years ago, Melbourne Cup was sort of the wind down. Now with this, event on, it might, might make it a bit longer. Well, that's the intent anyway.
And if we do that, that's the thing. So we got really lucky with the weather this year. Like if we continue on with if the event does continue on as a yearly thing, which I think a lot of people want. There will be years where we get screwed over by the weather. It's bound to happen, but that's just something we have to live with and potentially postpone it for a night or I don't know, stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's pretty crazy to think, as you said, it's usually the wind down, like around just after Melbourne Cup, but but we had the busiest night of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. The Revel Lager, absolute winner. I would absolutely drink that again. But about to have my what was this one again? The Pacific Haze. Going to move on to that one. I just wanted to bring up a topic, a bit of admin. Not admin, you know what I mean. Golden snapper. We were talking about just then. Fisheries NT put a Facebook post up. I see where they've I don't know how they've got the data. Whether it's scientists have obviously done something to work out. Up in the top end there, they're compared to unfished levels, they're down to 21%, they reckon, of unfished levels with golden snapper in like Darwin Harbour and region up there.
Well, I think, so part of the way they get their data is obviously from fishing tour operators, commercial operators. You have to fill out, so when you're an FTO, like fishing tour operator, you have to fill out a logbook with every fish that you take.
Yeah.
How many line hours? So, if you've got 6 people on the boat all fishing for 5 hours, it's 30 line hours to catch 10 golden snapper or whatever, whatever, and then how many were released. And then obviously they collate that data over several years and then they get an idea of the biomass. And then how they do it in other areas, I've got no idea, mate, how they work out the difference between unfished areas and fished areas, but... Yeah,
but even if the data is close to true, like close to accurate, like it does sound pretty bad. Like that's humans that have done that. So I don't know what they go. They did. The article did say that in the Gulf there is no issue with gold, and we can, just by anecdotal evidence, we can testify to that because you can go out there and smash goldies.
Just
easily,
in a million different spots. You'll get goldies. Boys were trolling for barra in the river the other day and getting goldies over 50 centimetres at the mouth of the river. Yeah. So there's,
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd just bring that one up. I'm not saying that we should be bringing in rules to, I don't know, that they probably will have to do something, more green zones, or I don't know. All I can compare this to is the whole barra netting and stuff like that, where it's a political decision rather than a common sense, evidence-based decision. I'm up for any changes, whatever they want to do.
As long as they're based on scientific data
and common sense. Yeah.
The barra, the gill netting thing. I mean, we flogged that to death, but there's definitely it's a shame to see that politics does get used sometimes to push things. I mean, it's happened in the Gulf on the Queensland side and on the East Coast as well, and it's not always the fisheries. The fisheries scientists quite often work for the government are saying this is what's happening, and then because political views differ, people make rules based on those differences of opinion rather than being based solidly on fact and scientific data, which is a shame sometimes. But anyway,
well, they're going on like popular, what will win them votes, I suppose, is what they're literally making decisions about what they think will give them votes, not what's best for.
Well, the first job for any government, mate, is to get re-elected. That's the and in places like
that's what
the Northern Territory, we were talking about this quite a bit with the fellas the other night at the club.
With Kevin Rudd.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll put another photo up. But
did we ever tell you about the time we met Luke Combs at the Gold Coast Casino?
Oh yeah, I think we talked about that. Yeah,
I'll bring that photo up too.
We'd had a few beers that night. That was at the podcast royale, the first round. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, that was a big weekend. We were saying the other night though, like obviously we've just had a change of government in the Northern Territory this year, which I'm 100% for. Really, really, really into seeing a change of government in the Northern Territory. Same with Queensland. We've seen a change of government in Queensland.
US.
The US, mate. We haven't even spoken about that. But yeah, we seem to be, the pendulum seems to be swinging back towards the conservative side just about everywhere at the moment. So hopefully that sees some more common sense things happening, in my opinion anyway. But like we were saying the other night, it takes such a long time to get anything done, especially if you've got you've only got 4 years. So your first job is to get re-elected, so you've got more time to actually implement things that actually make change. Because if you just go from one government to another government to another government, it's just, you need continuity.
Yeah.
It's no different to the fishing club here, and I've said it for a long time. Doesn't matter what your opinions are, there needs to be some continuity with the management of things, so that way you're not just backwards and forwards, wasting money on things that, never happen, So just because you don't agree with what the previous committee said doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Like you need to have some continuity, and then Anyway, that's enough about politics.
Yep. What else is on my list? I think we do need to do maybe even dedicate an episode to the rod locker, maybe in the next few days. Whether we publish that one soon or hold that for, because I think I was saying to the camera before while you were getting beers that I want to have 6 weeks off.
Yep.
So if we try and record a few, we do one on the rod locker because we have neglected it a bit. Like I'm so far. I try and comment on everyone's posts and whatever. I haven't done it in weeks, man. That's been so busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just trying to try and catch up because there's heaps of people asking questions. At least we've got a good community in there where people are answering for us. And so it is pretty good. But yeah, we can definitely, because people are posting all sorts of awesome stuff in there all the time. So yeah, I think we should do a Rod Locker video or podcast. But maybe we just go straight on to song nominations. What do you reckon?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do have 2. Mm-hmm. I'm dedicating them to Barney Dog. Yeah. No. So my wife and I, around the time we got married, we had 2 dogs, and we lost Harry a few years back now. But little Barney, he's been living at Harvey Bay at my parents' house. He was like 15, a little fluffy dog about this big, and yeah, he sadly he's gone now, little Barnes. And so I wanted to nominate 2 songs, which I don't think they're in the playlist already, but you already know which 2 songs. Good Dogs Don't Live Long Enough, and I Wish All Dogs Could Live Forever. You know those 2?
Yeah,
I reckon you introduced me to both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know who they're by, but you'll have to check out the playlist. And yeah, they're both, if you've ever, if you've ever had a dog, you'll relate to that. If you don't have a tear in your eye after listening to them, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, I'd say little Barnes, he's gone now, but he's with his mate Harry in doggy heaven. So yeah, that's my 2 for today.
Well, after we had a few bottles of rum last night,
we did so.
Then at Big Pete's house with Shredder, who's also been on the podcast. Big Pete's going to be on here soon.
Yeah. Well, we have to get a bigger table, but
at least we won't have to put Big Pete closer to the camera like we do everyone else to make him look the same size.
We put someone between us, and they look so. Remember Andy Total Carnage when we did one with him? He looked like a little. Oh, we're big boys. We are big boys. But at least Big Pete, yeah, he evens us out. Yeah.
So, but
we have Big Pete sitting back there. So anyway,
but yeah, we're at his place last night and enjoying ourselves. Probably a little too much, but he's playing some Mongolian throat singing of Metallica or some bloody thing. So
the Who, HU, they're called the Who,
and it's like within reason it sounded okay, but but there might be a couple of wobbly ones in the Rod Locker and in the Golf Mud Crubbers playlist. So anyway, and I thought, I know Mikey put a song on there a while back from Luke Geiger before this weekend.
Oh, the rodeo one. It's called Ride.
Yeah. And I want to put another Luke Geiger one in there. It's called Next Good Thing.
Yeah, Roger.
Mate, I tell you what, them fellas, I take my hat off to them. Them boys just absolutely nailed it on the weekend. They just had everyone entertained. As soon as that rodeo finished, mate, and they got cranking, like everyone was just all about it. Like it was just the best fun. Like, yeah.
If we do it next year, I want him to come. Was his brother? Was he had a good chat with me before as they were setting up?
Mm-hmm.
His brother there, and he was saying he doesn't usually tour with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
He just does a few gigs a year, just to like stuff like this. He actually, I think he said he drives coal trains in Queensland there. Yeah, I think it's Rockhampton or something. He might be something like that. Yeah, and it turns out he's a fan. Like he reckons him and his son. I think he said him and his son. Yeah, watch my videos. So I want him to come up again next year. If we do, if that event happens, I would love for him to come up again. I'd love for him to stay an extra couple of days and take him out in my boat. Because that would be that'd be good fun. And get him on the podcast even.
Yeah, for sure.
Get Luke and his brother on the podcast.
Mate, they were just so much fun.
Yeah.
They were just bloody absolute legends, eh? Like they got out and got a few barrows too.
Yeah, good. Oh yes, I did see that in his reels.
Yeah.
He got a hook through the finger as well. So there's at least 2 people we know of that got a hook through the finger on the weekend.
Yeah. So, but no, they're just absolute legends. So if you
It was his strumming hand at least. It wasn't his. Yeah, it was his strumming hand.
Mate, if anyone's around looking for a really good couple of blokes to come and play something for you at a pub or anything like that, mate, just get onto them guys because they were absolutely.
But he plays big gigs as well, with a full band and that. Yeah,
100%. But what I suppose I'm getting at is like even if we didn't have the rodeo, I would have just been just as entertained just having them guys. You know what I mean? Like if we didn't have bloody the bull ride and stuff. Them guys absolutely, like Saturday night, they absolutely made it for me. Like it was just unreal. Like they'd
Saturday.
not just the music. It was all the bits in between. You know, all and because I suppose, like, especially on Saturday night, it was almost like a big family there. Sort of a lot of people knew a lot of people.
Yeah.
Including Luke knew a lot of the guys. So it was quite funny having him, sort of take the piss out of people and just have a just have a really, really good time. So so that, mate, them guys were just the absolute best, mate. And they said, hey, if you're doing it next year, book us in, mate. We're sorted. If you don't want us to come back, don't worry. We'll be back anyway, mate. We absolutely loved it here. We're coming back. We want to do some more fishing. And
unreal.
Yeah, like I said, before they arrived here, they had absolutely zero idea what to expect. And obviously, Lockie knows them, and Lockie gave them a bit of a rundown. But when they turned up and said, "Mate, this is going to be epic. This is bloody spot on. This is exactly what we want to see." So,
for context, on the Saturday night, so this was Ash's blowout night, because the Friday, as we discussed right at the start of this podcast, that Ash was stressed. There was a lot on, and on the Friday he was busy. So he sort of let his hair down on the Saturday. I was at home in bed with my pajamas on, stone cold sober as well. I didn't have a drink Saturday night, so I had the night off because I knew I was fishing the next day. And then you can tell me the cut.
Calm down, get drunk with me, dance in front of Lou Geiger. There's people here, it's easy to beer. Just come down and run a for an hour. I'll help you put your boat in the morning, just come down and for an hour.
I'll help you put your boat in the morning. I don't think so. There's no chance of that.
I was laughing my head off, and I did not reply. I'm like, the worst thing I could ever do is reply. Yeah. In fact, I could probably use that because it'll be like beep, 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 beep. I didn't realise how much swearing was in that.
Yeah, that might have been a little bit. Well, Ant and I thought you might have had the shits with us for some reason, because we're like, where the bloody hell's Mikey?
Nah.
What's he doing? And Mikey's Ant's like, oh well, bloody, I took the piss out of him before we left about something, and maybe he's upset with me, and I was like,
Ant gets worried about stuff like that. He's a thinker. He thinks too much about that stuff.
I just said, him. Don't worry about it. You don't want to come down?
Honestly, I would have spent 3 hours that afternoon on the Saturday after we came. So we did that big pack up session, which cooked us all on the Saturday, and then everyone sort of dispersed. I come back here and I had a lay down, and then started getting the boat ready. And it doesn't sound like you think, oh, what do you mean get the boat? Just chuck rods in and fuel and go. But safety gear. Like, so I've got life jackets in there and some other stuff, but like there's no flares, there's no V sheet. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going backwards and forwards. And then it's such a big boat, like I've got to climb up a ladder to get in it. So I'm climbing up a ladder to get into Flanders, to get stuff out of Flanders, and then come back over and put that in. And then, so I've got the safety gear, I've got fishing gear, I've got camera gear, I've got, I mounted different mounts. I've got quad lock mounts for my phone. I've got GoPro mounts now. Like, there was just a lot to do. So that, after I ended up doing that, I'm like, no point even going down the club tonight. I'm buggered. So that was my Saturday.
It was a good night, mate.
Yeah, I could tell.
It was a very good night.
I'm so glad I didn't go.
Oh, mate, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. All right. What do you reckon, Bruss?
Shut it down?
Let's just shut it down. Quick end.
Righto. Cheers, Russ.
Sounds good. These bloody rebels are affecting me, eh?
Oh, look at that. Oh, beauty.
Guys in the Gulf.